In today's practice, we're going to be doing a nice grounding flow, staying quite low to the mat. This is also a calf-friendly practice, so we won't be doing anything that puts lots of pressure on our calves. We're going to start on our backs, making our way nice and slowly down to the mat, finding a comfortable position and just allowing the body to melt down into the mat. You can have your legs extended nice and long, or you might like to keep a nice bend in the knees. Seeing if you can press the entire length of your spine into the mat nice and firmly. And wherever you are, we'll just draw the legs in towards the tummy, lifting the soles of the feet up off the mat and drawing the knees in, taking hold around the shins, or maybe hugging the legs all the way in, and maybe rocking from side to side just to massage our lower backs. And then we'll extend the legs nice and long, taking a couple of full body stretches. So we'll lift the arms up and overhead, interlacing the fingers just behind our heads, and then we'll press the hands away from the head. We'll point through the toes and then take a nice deep breath in all the way to the belly, and see if you can tense every single muscle in your body. Really tensing, and we'll hold it there just for a moment and then exhale with a big sigh through the mouth. Releasing and relaxing through every muscle in the body, feeling the body melting into the mat. We'll do that once more, pressing the hands away, pointing the toes, taking a nice deep breath in, holding there at the top, really tensing through the muscles, and then exhale with a big sigh, relaxing through every single muscle in the body, feeling the tension floating away. Good. We'll take the arms all the way down by our side, and then with the left leg we're going to start to bend through the left knee out to the side, and we're sliding the left foot up the inside of the right leg, coming to rest somewhere along the inside of the right leg, so maybe around the knee or slightly higher on the thigh. And just allowing the left knee to point to the left side of the mat, and see if you can let it fall nice and heavy. This is kind of a reclined tree pose. So we're opening the hip. We should feel our weight evenly distributed across both sides of the seat of our glutes. And the shoulders are nice and loose. And sometimes it's quite nice to bring the left hand somewhere, to rest somewhere along the left thigh, just to gently guide the knee down a little more to open up the hip. But we're not using any additional force, just a little bit of guidance. Inhale, exhale. And on an inhale, we're going to lift the left knee so that it's pointing up to the sky, and place the sole of the left foot onto the mat. We're going to take the right ankle and cross it over the left knee, pressing the right knee away from the body, finding our reclined pigeon. So we can lift up the left foot and take a hold somewhere around the left leg, maybe around the back of the thigh or around the left shin. Drawing the legs into the body and feeling a nice stretch traveling up your right hip flexor. And then we can flex through the feet, engaging in this pose, pressing the shoulders down to the mat, and point through the toes. Inhale to flex, exhale to point. Inhale to flex, and then we'll release the hold of the hands around the leg, and allow the left foot to point up to the sky. Bringing the arms down by our sides, and we can point and flex the toes from here. Taking a little peek at me if you're not sure. And then on an exhale, we're going to slowly, with control, engage through the core and allow the legs to lower all the way down to the mat. Inch by inch, we're not rushing here, and we're really using our core strength to lower that leg all the way down until you can feel your heel touching the mat. And when you do, we can uncross the right ankle and extend both legs nice and long. Taking a little shake out with the legs. And then we'll take the right sole of the right foot and start to slide it up the inside of the left leg. Knee is pointing out to the side, and then find your resting place and allow the knee to fall out. Nice and heavy, opening up the hip. Maybe using your right hand as a little guide for the knee. Just to encourage it to open a little more. And notice if you're holding any tension in the hip or the leg, and seeing if you can soften into this area. We're not holding any tension in the shoulders or the neck. Just really softening and releasing in our reclined tree variation. Inhale and exhale. And on your next inhale, we'll start to lift the right knee, pointing it up to the sky, place the right foot on the mat, and then we'll hook the left ankle over right knee. Press the left knee away from the body, finding our reclined pigeon, picking up the foot and threading it through. Taking hold, drawing the legs in and pressing the shoulders down to the mat. We'll inhale to flex the feet. Exhale to point the toes. Inhale to flex. Exhale to point. Inhale to flex, and then we'll release the hold of the hands around the legs, placing the arms to our sides and extend the right toes nice and long, pointing up to the sky. We'll flex and point the feet. Engaging and firing up through the core. And then we start to lower with control. Nice and slowly, not rushing to lower the leg here. Really using your core strength to guide your legs all the way down. Nice and slowly until your heel comes into contact with the mat. We'll extend the left toes nice and long. Give the legs a little bit of a shake here, and we'll draw the legs in, taking a hold. Give ourselves a little squeeze. Place the arms by our sides. Rock the knees over the forehead and see if we can rock all the way up into a seated position on the mat. Cross the ankles here and find length in our spine. We can roll out the shoulders one way and the other way. And we'll just bring our practice to our neck and stretch out the neck here. So on an inhale, we'll lengthen through the spine, and on an exhale, we'll start to look over the right shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale to look over left shoulder. Inhale to center. On an exhale, we'll see if we can start to lower the chin to the chest, keeping our spine nice and long and lengthened. And you should feel a nice stretch. Start to travel up the spine here. Inhale back to center. And if it's okay for your neck, always being mindful here, we're going to slowly bring the gaze up towards the sky. Slowly starting to stretch through the front of the neck muscles or the fascia of the neck. This should feel really nice. Inhale and exhale back to the center. Great. And we'll bring the hands out to the sides, press down on the right hand and bend through the right elbow. Kind of tilt your body over to the right, and then on an inhale we'll lift the left hand up and over our head, really reaching over the ear, seeing if we can guide our gaze up towards the sky. Inhale. On an exhale, we're going to sweep the left hand across the body out to the left side, and then place the hand just behind our seat. Press into the left hand, see if we can start to lift up through the hips as we sweep our right arm up and overhead. Good. Inhale and exhale to lower it all the way down. We can switch the cross of the legs here. We take it on the left side, so pressing the left hand down and bending through the elbow, tilting the body over to the left and lifting the right arm up and overhead, really reaching and then looking up to the sky, seeing if we can tilt our heart space upwards. Inhale, and on an exhale we're going to sweep the right hand all the way to the side and then place the hand just behind our seat. Press into the right hand as we lift up the hips and sweep the left arm up and overhead, really pressing the hips up. Inhale and exhale to lower it all the way down. We'll just bring the soles of the feet together now. So we're creating a nice diamond shape with the legs. And we're going to prepare for a forward fold over our feet. So I recommend bringing the feet out just a little bit in front of you here. Drawing length up through the spine, rolling the shoulders down away from the ears as we actively press the knees down to open up the hips. You can take hold somewhere around the ankles or the feet. Inhale, and on an exhale, we'll start to hinge forwards from the hips. And then send the forehead down, nice and heavy towards the feet. Maybe adjusting your grip. Inhale, the head comes all the way up. And then we'll cross at the ankles and come onto our hands and knees, finding our tabletop position. And we'll walk the hands about 1 or 2 hand widths forwards on the mat. And from here, we're going to transfer our body weight all the way forwards so the shoulders are over the wrists, and then gently lower all the way down to the mat, squeezing the elbows in as we lower onto the belly. I'm preparing for a little back bend practice here. So we'll just rest the head on the hands and we can start to sway the hips from side to side, maybe bending through both knees and letting the legs and feet windscreen wipe from side to side just to release the lower back. Good. And then we can set the feet down on the mat. We'll take a little bend through the right knee, drawing the right heel to the glute. And then we can sweep the right hand behind, see if we can take a hold of the foot and squeeze the heel a little closer towards the glute for a nice quad stretch. Inhale and exhale to release. And coming onto the other side, taking a nice bend through the left knee, squeezing the left heel in towards the glute, taking hold with your left hand. Inhale, exhale to release. This time we'll do both legs at the same time, taking a nice bend through the knees. And then we'll sweep one hand back to take hold of the foot and the other. Holding it here and coming to rest on your chin. We'll start to lift the chin off the mat and the chest. Really squeezing the shoulder blades together here. And you might come here and find that that's enough for you today, or if you'd like to take it a little further, we can start to press the feet into the hands and feel the legs and the thighs start to lift off the mat, coming into our bow pose. Taking a couple of breaths here. This is a really lovely pose for digestion. And you might rock forwards and backwards a little bit, just to massage the abdomen. Couple more breaths. Holding here. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Nice deep breath in. And exhale to lower with control all the way down. Releasing the hold of the feet. Bringing the hands out in front of you, resting the forehead there, and we'll just bend once more through the knees and windscreen wipe the feet from side to side, just to massage or release through the lower back. Taking the feet down to the mat about shoulder width distance, we'll place each hand underneath our shoulders, squeeze the elbows into the ribs, and once again we'll lift the chin, lift the chest. Press into the hands this time, coming into Bhujangasana, our cobra pose. Another back bend here. Making sure your pubic bone is in contact with the mat so we haven't lifted that area. Inhale, exhale to lower all the way down. We'll bring the feet a little bit closer in together as we press into the hands to lift the upper body. Come onto the knees. And bring the big toes together, send the knees nice and wide, and walk the hands out as we send the hips down towards the heels, finding our final pose in our practice today, melting the forehead down to the mat, maybe massaging the forehead side to side, really reaching through the hands, through the arms, stretching out the shoulders as we press the hips down into the heels. And taking a couple of cleansing breaths here as we close our practice today. Inhale, exhale. Noticing how your body feels after your practice. And when you're ready, we'll start to lift the head and send the gaze forwards. Lifting up and coming into a comfortable seat on the mat. Crossing the legs in front of us. Finding a comfortable seat. And draw length through the spine, bringing the hands together in prayer at your heart center, Anjali Mudra. And thanking yourself for your practice today, showing yourself gratitude. Namaste, yogis.